वेलकम टू दिस लेक्चर ऑन अल्टरनेटिंग करंट्स। इस लेक्चर में हम एक सर्किट एनालिसिस करेंगे व्हेन वी हैव ए प्योर कैपेसिटर इन एसी सर्किट। नाउ ए प्योर कैपेसिटर वुड बी वन जिसमें कोई रेजिस्टेंस की प्रॉपर्टी ना हो। व्हेन वी थिंक ऑफ ए कैपेसिटर of capacitance C and we have applied a alternating EMF given by E equal to E0 sin omega t। इस चेंज की वजह से कि कंटिन्यूसली EMF चेंज हो रहा है, there is going to be a continuous change in the potential difference applied across the plates of the capacitor, और as per a certain potential difference जिसको हम कैपेसिटर इक्वेशन कहते हैं, देयर विल बी a change in the amount of charge which will be present on the plates of the capacitor। तो ये रिलेशन हमें याद है, this is the capacitor equation where charge at a certain value of potential difference V on the plates of capacitor is given by C into V, और C is capacitance of the capacitor। अब एक अल्टरनेटिंग ईएमएफ जब आपने अप्लाई किया, द अल्टरनेटिंग ईएमएफ विल बी लाइक दिस कि एट एवरी न्यू पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम देयर इज ए डिफरेंट वैल्यू ऑफ ईएमएफ अप्लाइड ऑन द प्लेट्स ऑफ कैपेसिटर। तो ये है एक साइनसॉइडल ईएमएफ इक्वल टू साइन ओमेगा टी। तो E0 साइन ओमेगा टी विल चेंज एज फार एज टाइम इज कंसर्न। दैट वुड मीन कि हर वक्त एक नई वैल्यू चार्ज की आपको कैपेसिटर के प्लेट्स पर मिलने वाली है। दैट वे ए कैपेसिटर बिकम्स एन एक्टिव एलिमेंट इन द एसी सर्किट, वेयर एज इन ए डीसी सर्किट वंस यू कनेक्ट इट टू द बैटरी देयर इज ए सर्टेन स्टेज वेयर द चार्ज ग्रोज, और एक बार चार्ज ग्रो हुई, इस पर स्टोर हुई, उसके बाद द चार्ज बिकम स्टैटिक। यहां ऐसा नहीं, यहां हर वक्त चार्ज बदल रहा है। अब एक खास पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पर अगर हम मानते हैं कि ईएमएफ की वैल्यू है E और चार्ज है प्लेट्स पर Q, तो आई वुड राइट दैट द चार्ज वुड बी गिवन बाय E मल्टीप्लाइड बाय C। व्हाट इज E हियर? E हियर इज इक्वल टू E0 sin omega t multiplied by C. This is equal to Q. Now corresponding to this charge, what is the instantaneous current? That instantaneous current we will write as I equal to derivative of charge with respect to time. That is derivative of E0 C into sin omega t with respect to time. So that way I would be equal to E0 into C is constant independent of time. The peak value of EMF does not change with time. It does not depend on time. The capacitance is fixed. It does not depend on time. तो मैंने इनको रिमूव कर दिया and I have derivative with respect to time of sin omega t. What is derivative of sin omega t with respect to time? Would be cos omega t. So this becomes E0 multiplied by C into derivative of sin omega t with respect to t would be cos omega t multiplied by, ये डिफरेंशिएशन है, तो यहां पर जो ओमेगा टी का डेरिवेटिव है उस डेरिवेटिव से हम इस प्रोडक्ट को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे। सो दैट वे डेरिवेटिव ऑफ ओमेगा टी विद रेस्पेक्ट टू टी वुड बी इक्वल टू ओमेगा। सो आई हैव E0 multiplied by C ओमेगा multiplied by cos ओमेगा टी। अब ये जो C ओमेगा है इसको मैं रीअरेंज करके ऐसे भी लिख सकता हूं। I can write it like this, that I have I equal to E0 divided by, तो ये C ओमेगा या ओमेगा C मैं रीअरेंज करके ऐसे लिख रहा हूं इन द डिनोमिनेटर, दिस बी 1 बाय ओमेगा C, सो दैट अगर आप इसको फिर से मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं E0 डिवाइडेड बाय 1 बाय ओमेगा C, ओमेगा C विल गो देयर और आपके पास मिलेगा E0 इंटू ओमेगा C, E0 इंटू ओमेगा C मल्टीप्लाइड बाय कॉस ओमेगा टी। क्योंकि जो E की जो रिलेशन है उसमें यहां पर साइन है, साइन ओमेगा टी, आई वुड लाइक दैट दिस कॉस इज ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड टू साइन, और आपको याद होगा दैट इफ आई हैव द 4 quadrants, first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive, sine, tan, cos. So here sine is positive, here tan is positive, here cos is positive. So what is the outcome of sine theta plus 90 degree? So sine theta plus 90 degree lies in this quadrant. तो ये sin cos बन जाएगा, तो ये cos theta बन जाएगा. Since it is in the second quadrant and in second quadrant sine is positive, so sine 90 plus theta या theta plus 90 is equal to cos theta. इसको आप ख्याल में रखें. Now I can write therefore cos theta equal to sine 90 plus omega t. So I becomes, as per this formula, I becomes equal to E0 divided by 1 by omega c multiplied by cos theta की जगह sin 90 degree plus omega t या omega t plus 90 degree लिखा जा सकता है. And finally what we have with us now, we have the expression for instantaneous current at certain instant of time when charge on the plates of the capacitor was dq or q. Then we have I equal to E0 divided by, अब जो ये क्वांटिटी 1 by omega c हम लिख रहे हैं, इसको मैं एक सिंबल xc से रिप्लेस कर रहा हूं. So what is xc? This is xc is equal to 1 divided by omega c multiplied by sine of, I can write it as omega t plus 90 degree, और 90 डिग्री को आप रेडियन में पाई बाई 2 से भी डिनोट कर सकते हो. Now this relation that we have introduced a value xc, जिसको हम कैपेसिटिव रिएक्टेंस कहते हैं, कैपेसिटिव रिएक्टेंस has a significance that what capacitor is going to do when it handles an AC. This capacitive reactance is a kind of resistance offered by the capacitor to the flow of AC through it. And this reactance is going to be frequency dependent because I can write Xc as 1 by 2 pi n into C. What is n? N here is frequency of the applied AC. और आप देखते हैं इस रिलेशन में that capacitive reactance becomes inversely proportional to the frequency of the given AC, which is significant क्योंकि जब हम एक कैपेसिटर को एक लो फ्रीक्वेंसी देते हैं, it offers a higher opposition to the flow of low frequency AC through it. और जब हम हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी AC को देते हैं, it gives a lower reactance that which it offers to the flow of AC through it. ये प्रॉपर्टी एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट प्रॉपर्टी बाद में यूज होने वाली है, जिसमें हम एक डिवाइस ऑब्टेन कर सकते हैं which we call as a filter circuit, और एक कैपेसिटर एक नेचुरल फिल्टर बन सकता है in an AC circuit, जहां पर हम देखते हैं कि it is comfortable for making the flow of high frequency through it because as n increases Xc decreases, but it is not comfortably carrying the low frequencies through it. The worst case could be कि अगर हम एक DC कैपेसिटर को दे where frequency is equal to 0, its capacitive reactance tends to infinity. So that's why we say that a capacitor is a block. That means it does not allow the flow of DC through it. It's a block for DC, but it allows the AC to flow through it, and it allows the AC with high frequency to flow easily through it and offers a considerable resistance to the flow of low frequency AC through it. This property, as I said, will be later on used as a very important property in the communication systems, and it acts as a filter circuit, or that filter circuit can be used for separating AC from DC or for separating the low frequency AC from high frequency AC. तो ये एक प्रॉपर्टी आपने देखी which arises because of this analysis. अब दूसरी प्रॉपर्टी हम ये देखें कि जो हमने EMF अप्लाई किया था, that EMF was equal to E0 into sin omega t, और इसके कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग जो हमें करंट मिला, that current is represented by E0 divided by Xc equal to sin omega t plus pi by 2. Pi by 2 here is 90 degree plus pi by 2. Or we can also write it as I equal to I0 into, so this is I0, that is E0 by XC को अब मैं पीक करंट कह रहा हूं I0 into sin omega t plus 90 degree. अब इस रिलेशंस को देके आप देख रहे हैं that the phase angle of applied EMF and the current which has been set up in the circuit is not same. The phase angle is different and there is a phase difference of 90 degree between the two of the signals. अब इसको अगर हम values दें, say I put omega t equal to 0 degree, what you will see here that EMF will be equal to 0. But if you see here, what will be value of current? Current I for this value will be 0 plus 90, that is 90 degree. Sin 90 degree is 1, so it will be equal to I0. Then if I put omega t equal to 90 degree, sin 90 plus 90 is 180, sin 180 is 0, sin 90 is 1, so I get EMF equal to E0 and I will be equal to, so I will be equal to 90 plus 90 is 180, it will be equal to 0. Then if I put omega t equal to 180 degree, EMF would be equal to 0 again. And what about this 180 plus 90, that is 270, 270 is minus 1, I would be equal to minus I0. Then if I have value of omega t equal to 270 degree, this would be that EMF is equal to sine of 270 is minus 1 is equal to minus E0 and I would be equal to 270 plus 90, that is 360, it would be equal to 0. And finally, when I say omega t is equal to 360 degree, right? So this makes it the value of EMF would be equal to sine 360 degree, same as sine 0 degree, that is equal to 0, and this would be sine of 360 plus 90, that is sine 90, sine 90 is 1, so I will be equal to I0. अब इसको हम ग्राफिकली अगर प्लॉट करें, so this is the graphical plot for EMF first. देखिए इस ग्राफिकल प्लॉट में हम ओमेगा टी की वैल्यूज ले रहे हैं एक्स एक्सिस पर, और ये है इस EMF का प्लॉट. इट विल बी अ कर्व लाइक दिस. तो ये वैल्यूज जो है, दिस इज 0 डिग्री, देन वी हैव द वैल्यू ऑफ 90, वी हैव 180 डिग्री, वी हैव 270 डिग्री एंड वी हैव 360 डिग्री. और इस EMF की वेरिएशन आप इसके साथ आप कंपेयर करें करंट के साथ. सो दिस इज फॉर 0 डिग्री इट इज 0, फॉर 90 डिग्री इट इज E0, फॉर 180 डिग्री इट इज 0, फॉर 270 डिग्री इट इज माइनस E0, तो ये E0 को डिनोट करता है. एंड फॉर 360 डिग्री इट इज अगेन इक्वल टू 0, दिस अगेन इक्वल टू 0. नाउ हाउ द करंट इज चेंजिंग, यू फाइंड कि at omega t equal to 0 degree, that means corresponding to this point, the current is at its peak. So here is the peak of the current. And when you take value of omega t equal to 90 degree, current becomes 0. So here is the current variation. And at 180, current becomes minus I0. So this is minus I0. And then we have at 270, the current becoming 0. And at 360, the current again becomes maximum, that is I0. तो ये जो आप देख रहे हैं, this is the peak value of current and that peak value of current is I0. So a relation is obvious. The relation is that when EMF is 0, current is maximum. When current becomes 0, EMF becomes maximum. When current here again EMF here is 0, the current will now be taking a minimum value, that is it will be minus I, and this will go on. अब ये जो दो relations हैं, these relations also lead us to a phasor diagram for this circuit. How the phasor diagram will look like will be like this, that if I think of a phasor which is for EMF like this, so ये इसका peak value है EMF का, here I am representing the direction of this phasor. Then the current you agree will be leading the EMF by 90 degree. तो आप वैसे भी देख सकते हैं जो करंट के लिए यहां ओमेगा टी प्लस 90 डिग्री है, दैट मीन्स करंट इज लीडिंग द ईएमएफ बाय 90 डिग्री. इसका फेज एंगल है ओमेगा टी, सो दिस इज ओमेगा टी प्लस 90 डिग्री. फेजर डायग्राम में जो करंट के लिए फेजर है, इट विल बी दिस फेजर एंड दिस एंगल वेयर करंट इज लीडिंग द ईएमएफ बाय 90 डिग्री इज ऑब्वियस. और ये फेजर डायग्राम आप कंपेयर कीजिए विद द रेजिस्टेंस एंड द इंडक्टेंस. In case of resistance, the EMF phasor and the current phasor, they were in the same direction. The phase difference was equal to 0 degree. In case of the inductor, the EMF would lead the current by 90 degree. Whereas in case of capacitor, the current leads the EMF by 90 degree. This phase relation between the values of EMF and current in different circuits is of great significance, which will make us to get a device, जिस डिवाइस को हम एक LCR सर्किट कहते हैं, and the dynamics of that LCR circuit will be of importance, which we will see ultimately. अब आप यहां से ये जो डिस्कशन है, इस डिस्कशन में हमने किस तरह से एक कैपेसिटर को AC सर्किट में लाया. एक कैपेसिटर एक DC सर्किट में चार्ज होता है, फिर उसके बाद उसके ऊपर जो चार्ज है वो वही कांस्टेंट वैल्यू रिटेन करके रखती है. लेकिन एक एसी सर्किट में जब हम ईएमएफ की वैल्यूज को चेंज करते रहते हैं, विच इज अ पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस अप्लाइड अक्रॉस द प्लेट्स ऑफ कैपेसिटर, जो कैपेसिटर की प्लेट्स पर स्टोर्ड चार्ज है, दैट चार्ज गोज ऑन वेरिंग. द कैपेसिटर बिकम्स एन एक्टिव सर्किट एलिमेंट इन द एसी सर्किट. फिर हमने एक खास इंस्टेंट ऑफ टाइम पर उस चार्ज को लिया, विच इज Q इक्वल टू V इंटू सी, और E इंटू सी, E को सब्स्टिट्यूट किया E0 इंटू साइन ओमेगा टी, डिफ्रेंशिएट किया dQ बाई dt से, हमें उस इंस्टेंट पर करंट मिली, और उस करंट का आपने एनालिसिस किया. दैट करंट हैज ए पीक वैल्यू विच इज इक्वल टू द पीक वैल्यू ऑफ EMF E0 डिवाइडेड बाय 1 by omega C. 1 by omega C becomes capacitive reactance denoted by XC, और साथ ही साथ there is a phase change, the phase angle which was for EMF as omega t becomes omega t plus 90 degree. That leads to the conclusions as you have seen. So this way we have the analysis of a pure capacitor in an AC circuit. Now we take up a combination of an inductor, capacitor and a resistor, which will be like this: a resistor, capacitor and inductor in an AC circuit, such that we apply a source of EMF across this combination, and that source of EMF is given by E0 sin omega t, which we call as EMF E. अब ये तीन जो एलिमेंट्स हैं, रेजिस्टर, कैपेसिटर और इंडक्टर, इन तीनों को हम कहते हैं LCR circuit. So we have a series LCR circuit where the three elements, one is inductor, other is capacitor and resistor, are connected in series. You are aware of a DC circuit analysis. वहां पर जब हमारे पास कई रेजिस्टर्स आपस में कनेक्टेड होते हैं, जैसे ये R1 है, ये R2 है और ये R3 है, what would be the way of handling this? ये हमारे पास एक source of potential difference है V. So we find out that what is the voltage here? It is V1. What is the voltage here? It is V2. Then what is the voltage here? It is V3. And we set up a relation V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now the situation here is slightly different, although एक चीज यहां भी होगी कि each of these elements will develop the corresponding potential difference across them, and there will be a current. The current through each of the resistors here remains same. So it is I here, it is I here, it is I here, and it is I here also. So in series combination, the current through each element remains same, whereas the potential difference across each is different. Assume कि जो ये हम अप्लाई कर रहे हैं ये एक वोल्टेज, दिस वोल्टेज हैज सेट अप ए करंट I in the circuit. So in the normal practical analysis, you can think of this as RMS value of EMF, and then what it will be, this will be RMS value of the current I denoted by I, and I have the three EMFs now. इसको मैं VR कह देता हूं, the potential difference which develops across resistance. Then I call this as VC and I call this as VL. Now these three potential differences VR, VC and VL have to be added up, but we have a consideration. वो consideration है एक सर्किट, जब LCR सर्किट में हम V की वैल्यूज या EMF की वैल्यूज लेते हैं, there is a phase relation with the current जो आपको कंसिडरेशन में रखना होगा. Even though I believe this कि जो VR है I can write it as IR. तो अगर ये RMS वैल्यू है, so this is RMS value multiplied by resistance. अगर VC है, I can write it as I into XC. XC is capacitive reactance of the capacitor. और अगर ये VL है, I can write it as I into XL. So these three relations we may carry along. However, a diagram which I am trying to draw here now, this diagram is of significance. देखिए इस diagram को मैं इस circuit का एक diagram बना रहा हूं. This will be later called as impedance triangle of this circuit. यहां हमारे पास एक current है, तो इसको phasor मान लें. So this is the current phasor. Or with respect to current, you agree that in a circuit where there is resistance, the resistance has an EMF which is in same phase as that of current. तो जो ये VR है, this VR will be along the direction of this current. So I am trying to show VR along the direction of current. So this is VR. The phase difference between them is 0. But I understand कि जब हम इस करंट के साथ, ये करंट I है, जब हम इसके साथ एक VL के कंपैरिजन की बात करते हैं, which is the EMF across inductor, you understand that EMF across inductor, it leads the current by 90 degree. And in case of capacitor, the EMF across capacitor, it lags behind current by 90 degree. So I am showing two more phasors in this. This is the phasor which would be representing VL. It is in lead with respect to current by 90 degree. Here is the current. And there is another phasor which represents VC, that is the EMF across capacitor. It lags behind current by 90 degree. तो ये पार्ट हम ऑलरेडी देख चुके हैं by considering a pure capacitor and a pure inductor in the AC circuit, that in case of capacitor, current leads the EMF by 90 degree, whereas in case of inductor, the current lags behind EMF by 90 degree. Now we will make the resultant of these three quantities, और आपको जो वेक्टर की नॉलेज है वो नॉलेज अब यूज करनी होगी. I have at this point two vectors. One is VL, other is VC. They are in opposite direction with respect to each other. So let me assume for a while that VL is greater than VC, so that we will see कि जब दो vectors एक ही direction में act करें और उनकी directions opposite हो, they subtract each other. So इन दोनों का जो resultant है, that resultant has come out. Say I call this resultant as VL minus VC. यहां जो आपके पास VR है, so this is VR, this VR is in the direction of current, so this is VR, so this is VR. और अगर आप कहो कि what is the net voltage which the circuit sees now, I will make them to combine through the parallelogram law, and I will call this as the net, and this net I denote by VZ. Thinking of parallelogram law, अगर मेरे पास दो वेक्टर्स होते हैं, एक है वेक्टर A, दूसरा है वेक्टर B, then the resultant is given by under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. In this case, the magnitude of VZ would be given by under root of VL minus VC whole square plus VR square. तो मैं लिख रहा हूं A square plus B square plus 2AB into cos 90, because जो इन दो के बीच में एंगल है, that angle is equal to 90 degree. In that way, I am dropping the last term here 2ab cos थीटा जैसे आप लिखते हैं उसको मैं ड्रॉप करता हूं. नाउ आई कैन राइट दिस एज vz इक्वल टू अंडर रूट ऑफ, आपको पता ही है कि vc इज इक्वल टू i इंटू xc और vl इज इक्वल टू i इंटू xl. सो आई हैव i इंटू xl माइनस i इंटू xc होल स्क्वायर प्लस vr की जगह i इंटू r होल स्क्वायर. अगर आप इसी रूट के अंदर इन ब्रैकेट्स में से i को कॉमन निकाल लें तो दिस विल बी i स्क्वायर इंटू xl माइनस xc होल स्क्वायर प्लस i स्क्वायर इंटू r स्क्वायर. अगर आप इन दो टर्म्स में से हम i स्क्वायर को बाहर निकालें दिस विल बी i इंटू स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ xl माइनस xc होल स्क्वायर प्लस r स्क्वायर. अगर इस i को हम vz के साथ डिवाइड कर दें सो वी हैव समथिंग लाइक दिस. नाउ सो वी हैव vz divided by I, vz divided by I is equal to under root of xl minus xc whole square plus r square. Now this vz by I is something like the resistance, net resistance of the circuit. Even though we don't call it as a resistance here, it is actually an outcome of two values. This is the reactance part. So you will see that this becomes under root of, जो circuit में net reactance है, reactance is something which is dependent on the frequency, और जो circuit में net resistance है ये उनका resultant है, and this resultant Vz by I is denoted by Z and is called as, जो Z है इसको हम impedance कहते हैं circuit का. So this impedance of the circuit is given by the square root of resistance square plus reactance square. So you can say that net impedance of the circuit is the resultant of net impedance in the net reactance in the circuit and net resistance in the circuit. अब आप यहां से आगे बढ़ें तो what we see is कि ये जो impedance है this has come out as a very important property of LCR series circuit, and this property which is denoted by Z becomes equal to under root of xl minus xc whole square plus r square. ये फॉर्मूला आप याद रख लें और xl आपको याद होगा that xl is actually the product of L and omega, that is it is L into 2 pi n, और जो xc है it is 1 by omega c, that is it is 1 by 2 pi n into c. While solving problems on this will be something significant for you to understand that we have to calculate the values of XL and XC on the basis of value of capacitance in the circuit and the frequency, value of inductance in the circuit and the frequency multiplied to 2 pi, or we have to get it like this. Once we obtain it, we can obtain Z. Now I can call this angle जो Vz subtend करता है with respect to the direction. ये जो आप dotted line देख रहे हैं black, this is the direction of the reference direction of current in the circuit. तो हम इसके respect में अगर phi इस angle का नाम दें, then I have the value of cos phi. So cos phi you will see will be equal to base upon hypotenuse. That way it will be Vr divided by Vz. और Vr आपको याद है is IR divided by IZ. I and I gets cancelled. So this cos phi becomes the ratio of resistance in the circuit and the value of Z. Z is net impedance of the circuit. इस cos phi को हम एक नाम देने वाले हैं later on. We will call it as power factor. तो जो power factor है circuit में, that power factor is cos of phi. And this phi is the angle which resultant of VR and VL and VC. That means जो resultant इनका है VZ that subtends with the direction of I. Now in case of some requirement, sometime we may also require tan phi. तो देखिए tan phi diagram से क्या मिलेगा हमें? We have tan phi which will be equal to perpendicular divided by base. This is perpendicular is VL माइनस VC डिवाइडेड बाय बेस, बेस हमारे पास ये है, सो परपेंडिकुलर डिवाइडेड बाय बेस विच इज इक्वल टू VR। तो अगर मैं I यहां लिखूं I इंटू XL माइनस I इंटू XC divided by I into R, so I can get cancelled out from numerator and denominator, so I have XL minus XC divided by R is equal to tan of phi. So this circuit will be representing to us a very important device जिसको हम कई बार एक tuning device या tuner कहते हैं, and it can be utilized for controlling power by getting these two values of cos phi and tan phi. अब यहां पर हम एक चीज की बात तो जरूर कर सकते हैं कि is it possible to minimize the value of impedance of the circuit? Now minimization of the impedance of this factor would mean कि किस तरह से हम इस टर्म को किल कर सकते हैं या इस टर्म को किल कर सकते हैं। किल करने का मतलब है कैन वी मेक द वैल्यू ऑफ z टू बी मिनिमम सच दैट we have to either make the resistance of the circuit zero or make this term which is reactance of the circuit to be zero. Resistance को zero बनाना is theoretically well said but practically not that an easy task. जबकि हम reactance की term को zero बना सकते हैं. So I would say कि अगर मैं R को minimize तो कर रहा हूं, कम से कम resistance, और साथ ही साथ I acquire this condition that I make XL and XC equal to each other. It is possible to make them equal to each other. At that time what would happen? The value of Z will become its minimum. In that minimum value would be equal to, ये zero हो जाएगा, so this will be 0 square plus R square, and this minimum value of Z would be equal to the value of resistance of the circuit itself. Now this is something which will be of importance when we talk about the dynamics of power in the circuit. तो जब आपने impedance को कम से कम कर दिया, आप देखते हैं यहां पर कि आपने जो मिनिमम कर दिया Z को, that minimum value is equal to R, तो आप ऑटोमेटिकली cos phi को 1 के बराबर बना रहे हैं. So the word power factor when we use, जब आप cos phi को 1 के बराबर बनाते हैं, you are maximizing power in the circuit. This will be a very important requirement ultimately after we go into the power, and this requirement you can remember that in order to make power in the circuit maximum, we must have maximum power factor. When does maximum power factor occur? When inductive reactance and capacitive reactance become equal to each other and the net impedance of the circuit becomes equal to the resistance of the circuit itself. और जितना आप resistance को कम कर रहे हैं, you will have a good quality circuit. Right? एक और term आने वाली है that will be called as quality factor that will be taken up later. As I said in the beginning कि अगर हम VL को assume करें greater than VC, what would happen अगर ऐसा ना हुआ that if VL is less than VC? देखिए यहां पर जब हम XL minus XC को whole square करते हैं और Z बनाते हैं, whether it is XL minus XC or it is XC minus XL, it will not be impacted. क्योंकि चाहे आप इसको पॉजिटिव वैल्यू लें या नेगेटिव वैल्यू लें, स्क्वायर से वो दोनों पॉजिटिव ही बनने वाले हैं. सो देयर विल बी नो चेंज इन द वैल्यू ऑफ इंपीडेंस इंस्टेड ऑफ XL minus XC or VL minus VC if it is XC minus XL. No change because of the squaring. However, there will be an impact on the value of phi if we change the value of XL and XC. You agree कि अगर XL हो greater than XC, so if XL is greater than XC, मैं फिजिकली इस सर्किट को कहूंगा कि सर्किट में ज्यादा इंडक्टिव रिएक्टेंस है और कम कैपेसिटिव रिएक्टेंस है. सो मैं ये कहूंगा कि जो ये सर्किट है ये डोमिनेंटली इंडक्टिव है. इंडक्टिव because of this dominant property of inductance, you will see कि जो इसमें tan phi की वैल्यू है that will be positive. So phi will be positive. So this diagram shows a positive value of phi because we have seen that we have exceeded value of VL over VC so that this circuit is dominantly inductive. लेकिन अब अगर ऐसा हो that in place of the value of XL becoming greater than XC, let me say now XC is greater than XL. So XC is greater than XL. This will become negative because tan phi will be now negative. When I say tan phi becomes negative, this circuit we see is dominantly so it is dominantly capacitive and phi is negative. If I make the phasor diagram for this circuit, you will see the phasor diagram will be probably like this. So this is the current. Now this will be the diagram जो इसमें Vz की value होगी. That value of Vz will be in this direction and you will see that a negative value of phi will come up because जो ये अब सर्किट है इस सर्किट में यहाँ VL minus VC के बजाय VC greater than a VL, so I am making it as VC minus VL, not VL minus VC. So phi negative, phi positive, phi zero has the significance. If phi is positive, tan phi will be positive, the circuit is dominantly inductive, inductance exceeds the capacitance. If the value of phi is negative like this, then in this circuit the dominance is that you will see the capacitance will dominate the inductance. And if we see that value of phi is such that you have the value of phi equal to 0 degree, cos of phi as we said is equal to R by Z, and that R by Z arises if XL is equal to XC. So the third condition is that if XL is equal to XC, you will see that tan phi will be equal to 0 and phi will be equal to 0 degree. So phi is equal to 0 degree means capacitance and reactance are equal to each other. I mean the capacitive reactance and inductive reactance are equal to each other. If phi is positive, the inductive reactance dominates over the capacitive reactance, and if phi is negative, the capacitive reactance dominates over the inductive reactance. This will be of importance later in the analysis of further phenomena of the alternating currents. So we have seen how we have handled the three components, inductor, capacitor and resistor in an AC circuit connected in series with respect to each other. We have introduced a phasor diagram, and that phasor diagram has given us an impedance triangle, and from this impedance triangle we have been able to determine the expression for impedance, and the impedance is related to power factor cos phi, and how the minimum impedance which would be equal to the resistance of the circuit can lead to the large power occurring in the circuit. So this was about LCR circuit analysis, and we take up now the further topics so that we are able to reach out to some practical applications of LCR circuit. Thank you.